Hi, I'm Lisa Williamson, and we are looking at equine nutrition. We are going to be doing number 15 in the series, and this is fats. This is a series created for BC Lower Mainland Pony Club Education. Fats and oils. Oils are also known as fats, are lipids, and oils are fats in a liquid form. There are two types of oils that can be fed to horses. One comes from a plant source, and corn is the most commonly fed oil to horses. There's also linseed, canola, sunflower. There is also animal source oil, and cod liver oil is the most commonly fed animal source oil, and that can be very good for the horse's coat. Well, as far as my body's concerned, I'm always trying to lose fat, but it's easy to forget that fats are beneficial to the body. What do fats do? Well, fat aids in the absorption of fat-soluble vitamins. Fat also boosts energy without disrupting behavior. So you can feed energy in an oil form, and it's not going to make your horse more hyper or stronger, but it will give a slow release form of energy. It's energy dense, but slow release. It's used as a fuel during low-intensity exercise. It does help to improve body appearance. If you can think of what a horse would look like without fat on it, it would be very angular. There would be issues with saddle fit and rubs and whatnot. So having a rounded body appearance will improve the appearance of the horse, and that is certainly well, it's not really a secret. It's something that people who show horses in conformation use all the time. If you want to hide some problems, quite often they will make the horse a little over fat, and you can hide some conformation problems that way. Also, fats help to maintain the condition of the skin and the hair, etc. When you feed fats, horses don't need oils in the diet, but they do tolerate them well. They are easily digested. Excess oil in the hindgut, however, can coat fiber and make it inaccessible. So oil has 2.25% the energy of carbohydrates. So 1 cup of fats is equal to 1.2 cups or pounds of oats. So there's two types of fatty acids. There's saturated and unsaturated. So basically a saturated fatty acid are solid at room temperature, whereas unsaturated fatty acids all are liquid at room temperature. And so that is saturated fatty acids, most are solid at room temperature. But with unsaturated, all are liquid at room temperature. Saturated fatty acids come from animal sources and are 75 to 80% digestible, whereas unsaturated fatty acids, the ones that are liquid at room temperature, they come from vegetable sources. They are more easily digested. In fact, they are 100% digestible. Typically, that is the kind that we will be feeding our horses. So when you're feeding fats, you need to be aware that they are going to be fed in limited amounts. So most horse feeds contain less than 6% fat. 3 is a number that commonly comes up, 3%. You need to introduce any fats to the diet gradually. So one thing that fats do is they have a protein-sparing action. So that means this allows 100% of the available protein to be used for building and repairing muscle tissue rather than being used for energy. So if there is fat and protein in the diet, then the protein can be utilized for what it should be utilized for, which is building and repairing muscle tissue. Protein can also be used for energy, but it's a very expensive energy source. So some fat in the diet will mean that proteins go for building and repairing muscle, fat goes for energy. They both do separate jobs. When you are feeding oils, you should feed an antioxidant with the oil to reduce free radical damage. Be aware that unsaturated fats can become rancid, especially in summertime. So there are two different groups of fat, essential fatty acids and non-essential fatty acids. So essential fatty acids are omega-3 and 6. They needed to be added to the diet, and omega-9 is manufactured by the horse internally. We won't worry about the non-essential fatty acids. If your horse has excess fat, it will end up being stored in the body. You should not feed in excess of 12% fat in the concentrate ratio. Again, excess fats in the hindgut will coat fiber, making it inaccessible to digestion. Excess fat can contribute to high cholesterol in the blood and can contribute to the development of particular ailments like metabolic syndrome, and ultimately like horses that have excess fat. One of the signs of that A horse that has excess fat is susceptible to developing laminitis as well. So where do we look for storage of fat? If the horse has too much fat, up along the neck, around the withers, the crease down the loin, at the top of the tail head, behind the shoulder, and over the top of the rib cage. So here's a picture of a horse with fat pockets on it. That horse is basically at risk of possible insulin problems, Cushing's disease he could be susceptible to, and laminitis, and metabolic syndrome. So there's a number of problems that this horse could end up being susceptible to. Okay, so this was all about fats, and again, I'm Lisa Williamson. Here are some questions for you to try. So go ahead and good luck with those.